Welcome, everybody, to Who's Your Band? I am Jeffrey Paul. I am joined by Sean Morton. How are you, Sean?
I'm fantastic. I'm looking delectably white trash with my cut-off Pabst Blue Ribbon shirt.
You are, but the glasses, you look like me.
No, these are my upstairs reading glasses because I can't find my downstairs reading glasses because I think I put those in my bathroom for my bathroom reading glasses. But I know where my living room reading glasses are and my bedroom reading glasses.
If you can say reading glasses more, I think that would be very entertaining for the show.
It just means I'm blind as a bat and I can't see shit.
Reading glasses.
Yep.
Okay. Well, today we're doing something a little different. Today it's going to be me and Sean. And we talk about this all the time. We both love Black Sabbath. We both love Ozzy. And in 1979, Ozzy winds up splitting from Black Sabbath. That it was that Never Say Die tour. And it was, for Black Sabbath purposes, it was a disaster. I saw that tour near the beginning in 1978. We had talked about this on the show before. And that was the tour where they brought out a young upstart band with them called Van Halen. And Van Halen pretty much blew them off the stage almost every night.
Right.
Ozzy was going through a tough time. The album was not received well, although in retrospect, Never Say Die has some very good songs on it. The song Never Say Die, the song Junior's Eyes is a really good song. There's a lot of good songs still on Never Say Die, but Black Sabbath was in disarray. So what happens is the band has enough. Ozzy is going through his problems, and Ozzy leaves the band. He's basically kicked out of the band, fired from Black Sabbath. This woman named Sharon, she is not married to Ozzy yet, is still involved managing Black Sabbath. And she introduces a singer in a band called Rainbow. And this guy had just left it. That's Ronnie James Dio. And she introduces him to Tony Iommi, and they talk, and they kind of hit it off. Maybe a few weeks, couple of months later, they run into each other at the Rainbow. You've been there, right, John?
A million times. Best pizza on the West Coast besides, best pizza in the country besides the East Coast.
Well, besides the pizza, also turns out to be this chance meeting again between Dio and Iommi. And Sharon had the vision of them starting a different group. Tony was looking for a singer. Dio was looking for a project, and they wind up going and writing a song together. The song is called "Children of the Sea," and they wind up doing a record. Tony Iommi invites Dio to become part of Black Sabbath, and in 1980, Black Sabbath releases the album "Heaven and Hell." At the same time, Ozzy is starting to get his act together. He's auditioning guitarists, and he stumbles upon this kid, Randy Rhoads. And with Randy Rhoads and Bob Daisley and Ozzy Osbourne, they write a phenomenal record, which turns out to be called Blizzard of Oz. That becomes the really classic Blizzard of Oz band. And in 1981, just a couple of months later, they release their album. So today, what we're going to do, we're going to go track by track, okay? And we're going to figure out which was the better album. So before we even go side by side, and I got everything written down here, Sean.
Me too.
All right? So in your opinion, which is the better album?
Well, Heaven and Hell has 8 songs. Blizzard of Oz has 9 songs.
Okay, but hold on a second. Let me just cut you off on that. I should have told you this before we did this. What I did was I put D and Suicide Solution together because D goes into Suicide Solution. Okay.
See, I took off Steal Away the Night and I just kept D as number 4.
Let's do it this way because I'm
going to throw everything off if I do that.
No, I got it. I'll keep track. Okay. Now this idea comes from 2 guys. Eddie Trunk does this thing called the Throwdown. And then our buddy Don Jameson on his podcast, which you guys should check out, has this thing called The Toss Up. And he did it between 2 Sabbath albums. And he did it between Ultimate Sin and Bark at the Moon. I thought, looking at who released the better album between Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell, and Blizzard of Oz. So, what would you, in your opinion, which was the better album? And then we'll go track by
I
track.
think the better album is Blizzard of Oz because
All right, yeah, go ahead.
I think that's the better album. If you really just look at it, just some of the four or five of Ozzy's probably most popular solo songs are on this first record, but you cannot take away from how amazing Heaven and Hell's record is too.
This challenge, when I did it, was just kind of like, all right, Sean, let's do this. And then when I'm looking at these side by side, out of all the shows we've done, this is the most impossible one for me to choose.
Yeah, I screwed up a little bit. Well, I didn't really screw up. I kind of told you, but you were kind of a dick. I kept D as a solo song in the order.
But it goes into each other, so it's not really.
Yeah, but I went by track listing, dude, and it's broken up by track. But we'll compare. It's fairly even, so we'll compare.
So I'm gonna take the opposite. And not only because you said Blizzard of Oz, but I'm going to go Heaven and Hell, and let's do the first track. Both albums, first track, off the charts, amazing. For Heaven and Hell, it's Neon Nights.
Mm-hmm.
For Blizzard of Oz, it's I Don't Know.
Yep.
Which is the better track? Which one are you going with here?
That was probably the hardest of all the picks for me, and I still went with I Don't Know.
All right, so Sean goes I Don't Know. I'm going to go Neon Nights, and you're right. This was incredibly hard. I love both songs. I mean, the riff of I Don't Know is fantastic. It was the first song I heard off of Blizzard of Oz. But when I remember, I told this story to you before, right? When I was in high school, I was a Black Sabbath freak. And when Ozzy left Black Sabbath, I remember just being so upset. And I remember, like, I'm at this party and I'm with this girl. I'm hooking up with her, and all I'm talking about is Black Sabbath. I'm talking about is how are they going to go on without Ozzy? I've never heard this guy Dio. This album is coming out. I've seen all the ads for it. Is it going to suck? And she's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And she walked away from me. And so when I bought the record, because remember what the album cover looks like, the nuns smoking cigarettes, playing cards. That's a great, great album cover. It's a great T-shirt. Okay. And the first thing I heard was how heavy Neon Nights was, and Ronnie James Dio singing it. I was like, holy shit. I cannot believe what I'm hearing. I had never heard someone sing that. Like, I thought he was better than Halford. Maiden with Dickinson hadn't come out yet, but it was the best thing I've ever heard. I have to go Neon Nights, although this was incredibly, incredibly close.
So then you got number 2, which is off the Heaven and Hell record. You have an amazing track called Children of the Sea.
Great song.
It was their first song they ever wrote. And number 2, probably the most popular heavy metal song of all time, Crazy Train.
Listen, Children of the Sea is a great, great song. Again, first song they wrote together. But come on, the guitar lead in Crazy Train.
It's an iconic riff. It's one of the most iconic riffs ever.
The opening, the All Aboard. I remember hearing that on the radio in the summertime, and I couldn't get enough of that one.
Yeah, man.
I have to go Crazy Train as well.
As did I.
I mean, there's no denying it. Super, super great song. I mean, it's been in everything. Then you go Lady Evil, Goodbye to Romance. What'd you pick here?
This was an easy pick for me. This was the easiest pick I had on the whole list. I went Lady Evil off of Heaven and Hell.
So here's the funny thing. This is the second song that Sabbath had called Lady Evil.
Yep.
The first one was off the first album. But I'll surprise you here. I went Goodbye to Romance.
Oh, they're very different, Jeffrey. I was never a big fan of that song. I always thought that was a little too mushy for Ozzy.
Yeah. I'm just not a big fan of Lady Evil either version. Okay. So now, this is where it gets a little bit dicey.
So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to shift my picks to keep everything in order. Okay.
Good. Okay, so we'll go Heaven and Hell versus / Suicide Solution.
Mm-hmm.
What are you picking here?
Well, I had Suicide picked for my other pick, but now that we're changing them because you don't listen to instructions, I am easily picking Heaven and Hell over D and Suicide Solution.
Same. In fact, Sean, do you know what my high school quote was? You know, like in high school, you have to have like you have.
I had mine. I had mine too. It's a music quote. I'll tell you mine after. Go ahead.
Okay, mine was from this song, and it was, "The world is full of kings and queens that blind your eyes and steal your dreams."
Mine was from Neil Young's "From Hank to Hendrix." The same thing that makes you live will kill you in the end.
Fuck yeah. Oh, you're so deep. What a douchebag.
Douchebags, both of us. Jesus Christ.
And I thought that was, man.
Oh, I was so deep. I was just starting to write songs. I was like, oh, if I could have written this.
Writing songs. I'm a poet, man. And then this guy had the same fucking quote. Like, he had the same quote as me.
I can remember. I have a weird memory with certain things, and I can remember about 3 different people over the 4 years of high school that I have yearbooks for having that quote as well.
Oh, yeah. But I remember at the time thinking it was so deep. It was so cool. But I mean, think about that song. Is there a better bass line in a heavy song than that?
I mean, it's right up there. It is definitely right up. It's so simple too, and it just drives the whole song.
Yeah, it's like another one bites the dust. It's so simple, but just so good. And even when you watched back to the beginning concept, I'm shocked that when people talk about great bass players, they never bring up Geezer Butler.
That's very true. A lot of people don't give him enough credit. I will give you that.
He is so good. He's so consistent. Everything doesn't have to be complicated. Everything doesn't have to be John Entwistle and Chris Squire. Right. Things could just be hard and good and catchy. And I love Geezer Butler as a player.
That's like when Les Claypool tried out to be the new bass player for Metallica, and they said, "Yeah, you're actually way too good to be in this band."
I didn't know he tried out to be in Metallica.
Yeah, it's on the documentary. You see all the bass players that came out, and then with trios and one of them, obviously. But I think it was like there was a couple big ones, but Les Claypool, they were like, "Yeah, dude, you're too good. You're too talented for our music," which is kind of. He's an amazing bass player, though.
He's a great bass player, but you need guys that kind of like fit the style. Yep. All right, so this is going pretty close so far.
Yep.
This next one,
it's a runaway.
It's killing me. I know it's going to blow you, but so now we're on side 2 of Heaven and Hell, and I think side 2 is great. And these 2 songs are the 2 most underrated songs in Sabbath's catalog. I love them, and it kills me that I can't go with it. So it's Wishing Well, which is a great song. I love the line, "I'll give you a star so you know just where you are," against my favorite. I have 3 favorite rock songs. This is one of them, Mr. Crowley.
I have to go with Mr. Crowley. It's just too iconic of a song. There's very few songs that you could put up against that song from that era that I'm going to pick over Mr. Crowley. And it's just, again, think of it this way. 45 years later, his final concert, he plays it.
What would you pick? If I gave you every song in the world to choose from, what are you picking over Mr. Crowley?
Well, there's a million songs I'm picking over Mr. Crowley, but
there's not a million songs I'm picking over Mr. Crowley. I mean, if I'm on a desert island, I could listen to 2 songs. Number 1 is going to be "Hallowed Be Thy Name," is Maiden. Number 2 is probably going to be Mr. Crowley.
Yeah, you go pretty deep with it though, but for me, it wasn't even close for that comparison, for that back to back.
I mean, everything about the song I love. I mean, the guitar lead is great. The beginning organ is great. It sets the mood. The lyrics are great. Ozzy singing is great. Any cover of it. Bruce Dickinson doing it with Dream Theater was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. I love the song. It's one of the greatest rock songs ever done. I mean, Wishing Well is a great song, but nothing holds up to Mr. Crowley. Very few do. So this was I hated to have to do it, but I love the song. Then you have Die Young versus No Bone Movies. Where are you going here?
Neither one are my favorites, to be honest. But I went with No Bone Movies.
Big choice. I Die Young, aside from maybe Neon Nights and Heaven and Hell, this is probably my third favorite track on the record. I love Die Young. It's so heavy. It's Dio just fucking wailing. It's so good, man. I have to go Die Young. No Bone Movies is a good. It's a good song. I think it keeps the record moving. It plays perfectly. Listen, it's tough to follow Mr. Crowley, but I thought it was a good song. I'm not going to shit on any of these songs.
No,
but I mean, compared to Die Young, I have to go Die Young here.
So then we go to track 7, which is
Walk Away
or Revelation Mother Earth. So which way are you going with that one?
Tough one. Neither one of my two favorites on the record. I think Walk Away is probably the weakest track on Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell. So I think by default, I have to go Revelation, which I don't think is a terrible song.
It's not. I mean, I went with that too. Again, like you said, not my favorite. See, side 2 for me, besides Mr. Crowley, is it's really not that strong for me on Blizzard of Oz compared to side 1. But yeah, I went with Revelation as well.
All right. And then we get to the last track, which is Lonely is the World, against Steal Away the Night.
I went with Lonely is the World.
You know what? I'm proud of you. I am proud of you. I really, if I was a betting man, I would have said you were going to go Steal Away the Night.
No, I'm not a huge fan of that song.
No, and I think Lonely is the World is a very underrated song.
I agree as well. That's why I went that way. I even did research today. Like I actually went and listened to all these records today.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. These are great.
No, just I wanted to keep it like it was, still fresh in my brain, and I'm trying to remember a song that I heard 30 years ago.
And here's the funny thing. So 30 years ago, these are like 40 years ago.
But when I started listening to them, I'm saying.
Now think about it. These records came out 80, 81. They still hold up too.
Sure. 100%. Blizzard of Oz you could put on anytime, any year, 10 years from now, and it still holds up.
It's great. Same thing with Black Sabbath. It's so sad that you'll never get to see either one of these singers again, Dio or Ozzy.
Yeah, it is true. I think I told the story the one time on the show when I was out in L.A. and I went to go to Lemmy's grave just to see it, because every time I had gone out there, I would miss him. He was in the hospital. He was on tour. I never got to see him at the Rainbow, and I would hang out at the Rainbow 2 or 3 times a week every time I was out there. So I didn't get to see him. So then I decided let's just go to the cemetery, pay some respects, and of course there's all stuff there. Women are kissing the headstone, leaving lipstick marks and Jack and Cokes and all that shit. And then as I'm walking out, I see this gigantic, gaudy marble crypt. I mean, the thing was probably 9 feet high. And I'm like, oh my God, there's no doubt in my mind that's a fucking Italian. There is no doubt in my mind. And as I'm walking closer, I'm like, there is no way on earth. And then as I'm getting close, I see it says Ronnie James Dio right on it. It was the gaudiest, biggest thing I had ever seen in my life until I walked out and there was Carrie Fisher and Debbie Reynolds who were buried together in this 200-foot tribute to them with there was hundreds of people sitting in front of them, freaking Star Wars nerds. So horrible.
Okay, so I know the listeners are curious to find out what were the results of this. So for me, out of 8 tracks, it came down to 4 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
I said this was going to be incredibly tough. and it was incredibly tough, 4-4. You, however, you said Blizzard, and you, true to your word, it was Blizzard by a 5-3 score.
Now, if we had went the way that I wanted, and Steal Away the Night was taken off, and I counted D as an original, as a solo song. Yeah, but I went by track listing. So if that was the case, if we had cut off Steal Away the Night, it was 4 for 4.
It's so, I like how you did it.
Yeah,
It was so tight, the margins on this.
Yeah, there's very few records I don't know of any record in this kind of situation, if you think about it, where the old band puts out a new record with the new singer, and when the old singer puts one out at almost the same time. I can't think of another time, especially for a big band.
I could.
What?
And that would have been when Van Halen came out with 5150 and David Lee Roth came out with Eat 'Em and Smile.
That was first. Eat 'Em and Smile was first.
Right.
5150 came out a year later.
That was pretty close.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm talking like these were like months apart, weren't they?
Yeah, I mean, yes. Sabbath came out in April of 80, and then I think about April of 81, Blizzard came out.
Okay, so maybe what we'll do if we do this in another episode, we'll do the Eat 'Em and Smile versus 5150.
You know what? Off the top of my head, like, oh, you're crazy. 5150 is going to blow it away. Until you wind up going back and listening to Eat 'Em and Smile.
Because you got Steve Vai playing on that record now.
Steve Vai, Greg Bassan, Billy Sheehan. I mean, the Eat 'Em and Smile band is such an underrated, great band.
A ridiculous lineup.
And then you have Van Halen kind of like changing direction a little bit.
Big time.
Become a little bit more synth driven, if you will.
I agree.
Even though Jump was totally synth driven, still songs like Panama were on 1984. That's still a great song, great guitar lead in that.
You can see where Eddie was changing his style and playing too a little bit too, where he was going to more of that chorus melodic sound.
He kind of came up as a piano player. His mother made both him and Alex play piano, and the mother was she was a piano player. The father was a great horn player, and he always kind of kept that in his pocket. That he would. I thought one day he would go and start playing keyboards. And you know what? I found nothing wrong with the change. Just like when people would criticize Metallica cutting their hair and the Black Album is more commercial, man. No, it's not. It's a great album. The songs are great.
I've said a million times, if any other band put out that record as the Black Album and it wasn't Metallica, it's considered the greatest hard rock heavy metal record of all time. But because Metallica put that out after putting out those 4 bangers before that, people shit on it. But songwriting wise, that is a perfectly written album.
100%. And the thing is, if you don't change, you become Megadeth. You wind up doing the same thing all the time. You gotta evolve.
And thank God they're doing their final album and final tour for the retirement now. Because let me tell you something. I've seen them. I'm not a fan.
No.
3 or 4 songs. That's about. I was never into them at all. I was always Team Metallica.
My son was like, let me check out Megadeth. He goes, I've heard you talk about Megadeth. Let me hear Megadeth. So I was like, what song should I play from? I played Sweating Bullets.
Okay.
He hated it.
That's cheesy. That's when he went into the cheesy. Hello, me. No, that's the cheesy shit. Like Tornado of Souls is an amazing song. You play that. Hangar 18. You play that. You don't play fucking Sweating Bullets.
But I remember that, man. But that had a really good chorus, though.
No, it didn't. Symphony of Destruction had that catchy chorus, but oh god. That's so horrible. That era of Megadeth is just atrocious. It started going downhill when they covered No More Mr. Nice Guy by Alice Cooper.
Yeah, I gotta say, I am not a big Megadeth fan.
Nah, never was. Never was.
I don't know if I'm gonna get out there tomorrow. I was gonna go out to Philly, and I wanted to go see 9 Inch Nails. Are you a 9 Inch Nails fan?
I am a Nine Inch Nails fan. It's a band that I've never seen live, actually. But if you are trying to get me to go to that show, I already told you, getting to Philadelphia on a Wednesday night is kind of tough. But going to MetLife Stadium to see System of a Down and Korn, I can swing that.
Yeah, no, man. The two opening songs. So Nine Inch Nails, they're coming out. They're playing. They have two stages. They have a small stage where they open up the show. He just kind of walks out and starts playing piano, and then plays a song, and then a couple of the other band members come out. There's no drums. It's just a couple of keyboards. They do 3 songs. Then they go to the main stage where, you know who's the drummer? Who was the drummer who took over for Taylor Hawkins and Foo Fighters? Freeze? Josh
Freese, yeah.
Josh Freese. He's the drummer in Nine Inch Nails.
Yeah,
now.
He just got fired from Foo Fighters.
Yeah, and he hooked up with Nine Inch Nails. So
not a bad gig.
No, so he's playing and he's doing his thing, and they go into what's that song? That Wish. Mm-hmm. They open with, how great is that?
It's a great song. Now, listen, the first 2 or 3 records from Nine Inch Nails are just
amazing. They go into March of Pigs.
See, when Pretty Hate Machine came out, I was like a freshman in high school, and again, you know me now. I'm pretty musically diverse. I was still always on top of everything, hearing everything new. And then when that came out, I was like, I had never heard anything like that. No. And that stayed on rotation for months. That record.
What was the first song you heard from Nine Inch Nails?
Head Like a Hole.
Yeah,
that was the first single. That was the first thing. But that wreck down in it, Terrible Lie is such a.
They're not doing that.
Yeah, they cut it out. But it's such a great song. I mean, that Downward Spiral is just a brutal record, man. Brutal.
I love Wish. It's so good. They do Closer. They do Hurt. They do Reptile. They do a bunch of other stuff that they're doing that I'd like to say. I'm not the biggest Nine Inch Nails fan, but this show just looks so good. And I love Trent Reznor. You know, even if it's a song I'm not familiar with, I can sit there and enjoy it because it's so hard.
Oh yeah, he's one of those brilliant geniuses, though. You know, he even does like movie scores and shit like that. He's a once in a generation kind of talent.
Yeah. All right. Listen, man. So next week, I'm gonna have to skip it again. Not unless you want to join me, Sean. I have a fantasy football draft, and we do have an opening.
Yeah, so I was thinking that next Tuesday I'm going to schedule a colonoscopy with Freddy Krueger.
So why don't you do it in the morning?
That would be less. That would be more enjoyable and less painful than ever sitting in a room with you picking fucking my favorite people that put posters on my fucking wall.
Adam does fantasy football.
Adam's half a fag too. What do you want me to tell you?
I don't know, man. I don't know how you and Jameson and Florence. I'm trying to get Jameson to be in this league as well.
Oh, you mean like 3 normal heterosexual men?
No, I don't think there's anything heterosexual or not about it. I think fantasy football is a cool thing to do.
Yeah, it's called fantasy. You know who believes in fantasies? Kids. Kids believe in fantasies.
No, I mean you're drafting kind of like your dream team of guys.
Yeah, why don't you just be a real piece of shit and just gamble on the fucking games?
I do that a little bit too, but why don't you come to the draft, because we do have snacks. There'll be some food.
Okay.
There'll be some adult beverages.
Okay. I'd rather drink bleach. I'd really rather drink bleach than go to that.
You don't want to have like snacks? I bring my laptop so I keep everything up to date.
Oh, so you're coordinated half a homo. Okay, that's good.
Anyway, next is Adam. Are you still there?
Yep, I'm here.
Adam, how many drafts do you have next week?
I just have one. I have one tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
I'm only in one league.
So I've had 2 drafts so far, and I still have 1, 2. I still have 4 more to go. I'm in 6 leagues this year.
Like I would hate you for being in 1.
I'm in 6.
I'll leave it at that.
John Butera is in 11.
Okay, so if you want me to say that you're half as bad as John Butera, then yes, I'll say you're half as bad because now I'm going to text him and destroy him in a minute.
And on Monday, you know who's in that league with me?
Who's that?
Mike Keegan and Richie Byrne.
Okay.
So I mean,
these are men who have been known to visit a rest area bathroom. I know that for a fact. Am I missing out?
Yeah, you're missing out on it. You're my friend. I want you to kind of enjoy yourself. I think you'd have fun. Let yourself go. The guys have even asked for you. They're like, "Hey, would Sean be interested?" Because they listen to the podcast.
Yeah, well, I'm very happy that we have listeners. I'm very happy that we have fans on the podcast. If we ever do a show together, please invite them out to a show, and I will buy them a round of drinks. But they will never fucking catch me in the basement of a really shitty strip club that's 4 minutes from my house, and I refuse to go away.
Yeah, I don't understand that. It's such a bizarre stance to take.
It's really not, because I live in the real world.
Folks, if you can, if you're listening, if you hung in this long, if you could kind of drop a comment. Do you like fantasy football or not? You know, who's missing the boat here? Is it me, okay? Or is it Sean, who's depriving himself of hanging out, having snacks, having a drink, having a good time with his buddies, and picking fantasy football players?
Right. So here's the vote. Would you A, rather sit in the basement of a hepatitis-filled, disgusting strip club with comics having snacks and playing make-believe?
No, this is
don't cut me off, bitch. I let you go. Now, or B, would you rather sit on your couch, smoke weed, have your own snacks in the air conditioning, watching a real game?
Okay, there's no game on Tuesday night. Secondly, this is not the Comics League. These are just regular.
Even worse.
These are just regular guys.
Even worse, because at least the Comics League, they're all trying to get together and blow each other to get fucking spots. What the hell is this about? These are just fucking 12 losers sitting in a basement.
Oh, these are all guys who are cool guys, and they talk about. Sometimes we give each other the business.
I'm sure you give each other the business. I guarantee you give each other the business.
You give each other the business, and then like the week you're gonna play somebody, you're kind of like, hey man, I got your number this week, and you're like, hey, better back off. So you kind of like have like a week of like razzing your fellow friend.
Yeah, so I'm going to break down the fourth wall, and we had this conversation on the phone, people, just so you know. Jeff tried this on the phone with me, and I had to explain to him that there's about 15 people in this world that I actually like and tolerate. And unfortunately, believe me when I say unfortunately, Jeff is one of those people. I told him if he makes me do this, I will never speak to him again. The podcast is over.
And we don't want the podcast to be over, but at the same time,
I would have to quit if I would, because understand, I have such an obsessive compulsive personality that if I did go to this, I would have total recall of every single little stupid thing that was said or done at this thing. And the whole podcast would suffer because we would never have a guest on. We would never do anything talking about music. All I would do for the rest of time is torture you about that one time at fantasy football.
Sometimes I make a joke during the fantasy football draft.
Dude, you don't do it on stage. Why are you doing it at a fantasy football league?
Because it's funny. I come up with funny lines.
Dad jokes.
Well, listen, folks, tune in to the Jeffrey Paul dad joke of the day. I do a dad joke every day on social media.
I can see what it's like. Boy, he's a great fantasy football player, but I heard he was gay. He used to be a tight end, and now he's a wide receiver.
That's good shit.
Yeah, you can have it.
I can have that. Thank you. I'm opening with that tomorrow night.
Can I go? Can I go now, please?
Yes.
I'm actually getting heartburn talking about fantasy football.
All right, listen, folks. We are back September 9th. September. Summer is over. What a great summer. How fast it went. But we are back September 9th. Comments. See, do you like fantasy football? Tell us if you like fantasy football. And we'll be back with more shenanigans in 2 weeks. Take it easy, folks. Please subscribe, comment, share. It all helps us out a lot. Take care, everybody. Enjoy your Labor Day.
Later.